let's go to the biggest shocker and the worst dud. And this is another one of those that's kind of confusing people because I keep changing the name of it. Sorry. Essentially, what this award is, for the worst dud, you go for the thing that was supposed to be a huge deal and flopped. There's a lot of things that could have happened with that. It could have been a world title match that you thought was going to be fantastic and they built up to be the biggest thing in the world and it just sucked balls. It could be some heel turn that you thought was going to happen and everybody thought was going to happen and then it just turns out it doesn't. It could be something as simple as a return that you thought wasn't going to happen and then it did, but it sucked, or maybe, I don't know. There's
so Shocker versus Shockmaster.
Basically, Shocker versus Shockmaster.
What was the best? What was the worst?
And for the best, what we're doing isn't necessarily the best shock, as in what I enjoyed the most, but
just what came out of nowhere.
What surprised you the most? What did you not see coming, and you were floored by it? So, the biggest dud, flop, whatever you want to call it, of the year.
I've got a tie. I'll start with the first one, The Rock's return at WrestleMania. It was 15 minutes of him just, like you said earlier, promoting WrestleMania, even though we already bought it. And then...
Spent 15 minutes doing that.
Yeah, there was at least an hour worth of Rock at WrestleMania that was just...
Hey kids, it's The Rock.
Yeah.
Ding!
It was just... It's depressing.
Yeah.
And the someone it ties with, and it'll tie into my biggest WTF, it's the way they handled the Triple H, Punk, and Nash feud. I really thought they were gearing up something with Punk and Nash, and I know Nash got hurt or wasn't cleared or whatever, but that whole who screwed who, and Stephanie's here, and it wasn't John Laurinaitis, and I'm still thinking it's Shane for It Begins. But,
Talk about that.
Yeah. It's just, for the most part, I felt like that was mishandled. His return off of the quitting and all that, so.
Biggest dud? Sin Cara. For weeks leading up to it, Mystico is a big name. I never seen him wrestle. I'm like, alright, this will be pretty awesome.
Not a big guy, but a big name.
Yeah. And it's like, I always heard about him. Like, okay, cool. And the mask, I'm like, that's pretty badass. The vignettes, the music, I'm like, this is kind of awesome. And then he comes out, and he misses half his moves. And he falls off the turnbuckle fighting Carlito, I think. And
Primo.
Oh, it was Primo. They're the same person. And he's doing the backstabber now. It's the same person.
Yeah.
He's just not as cool.
No. I wish he was cool.
We miss you, Carlito.
We do.
Come back.
So, I was actually excited for Sin Cara because I thought, you know what? I'm sick of Mysterio. It'd be cool to have a new luchador. I like the style. I like the music. I was really into it, and then it's just... He's become the biggest joke in the WWE, for the most part. And I gotta say, I'm really disappointed at what happened with Sin Cara. I was hoping for so much more.
I thought you were going to... The way you geared up to look at the camera, I swore Michael Cole was coming out of your mouth.
I wasn't hyped up for anything.
You just kind of looked and went, "What's the guy? It's going to be Michael Cole."
Because he hates that man.
I hate that man.
I have to say, my biggest flop was the end of the Anonymous Raw GM storyline.
It's still going on.
Or, technically, you could say the lack of an end of it, because one day the Anonymous Raw GM is making matches and, doing the whole thing, and then the next day, nothing. We haven't heard from him since. Now, is he a truly Anonymous Raw GM? Did WWE not even know who the fuck they hired?
My speculation is that the Anonymous Raw General Manager is actually a computer program. That it was
it's
on
a
the computer.
Microsoft voice,
That's
right?
why I was talking. And now it's decided to downsize, and it's contacting John Laurinaitis via the text message. So it's still the Anonymous Raw GM, but it's a computer program. It's like Tron.
It's Skynet.
So exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That Skynet is running around.
We have John Cena, we got rid of John Morrison, we have John Laurinaitis. We need John Connor to come and fix this. So I was expecting them to make John Laurinaitis the Anonymous Raw GM, and they could have just had some kind of a little bit of story where he says, you know what, the hell with this anonymous shit, it's me, I'm going to start, well, he wouldn't say that, he would go, the hell with this shit, it's me, I'm the anonymous Raw GM.
the whole time.
I am excitement.
Gnarly. You got the touch. So, even though I like Laurinaitis, which I'm probably going to catch heat for, I wish that they would have just made him the Anonymous Raw GM and ended the story properly. And I think it's just going to go the way of McMahon's Millions and all of the other storylines like that they put a lot of attention into, and then they're just like, meh, and just kind of throw it in
Can't
the trash.
think.
Yeah.
Turn off.
Oh, we're so worried about this. What can we do? We can do an anonymous thing, and then, I don't know, we'll figure it out in about 2 years. 2 years later, yeah, so we don't have an anonymous Raw GM yet.
Fuck it.
I don't know, fucking give it to John, he'll do it.
We'll bring in the CEO.
Yeah.
We'll just go above
I think
GM.
Edge can have one more match against the computer.
Yes.
Because the computer needs a rematch clause.
Shut up, you idiot. We know you have an email. Read it.
The finisher for the computer is caps lock. It's the submission. That's such a cheesy joke, I'm sorry.
Yeah, take it back.
I don't take it back. I enjoy it. I had to. I can't refuse those. Alright, biggest shock of the year.
Went with Nash returning at SummerSlam and powerbombing CM Punk. Completely out of it. To me, it was completely out of nowhere because
you thought Diesel was going to do it.
I thought it was Diesel, maybe Vinny Vegas. I don't know who was going to come
Big
back.
sexy.
Big
Cool.
sexy.
Know who I am.
Scott Hall manages to walk down the ramp. That would have been a huge surprise. Or Jeff Hardy kicking his cocaine habit. But
Matt Hardy now.
Matt Hardy now. I went with Nash because they did nothing with him from after that huge pop, and he was bitching. He was talking. He was going to TNA, and it basically like WWE seemed to be steering away from the old guys, and then all of a sudden for him to show up at SummerSlam and just screw them, and then Del Rio cash in. It was unexpected to me.
Look at the adjective. Play.
I'm the shit. I'm telling you.
Biggest shock of the year.
Biggest shock of the year, I'm actually going to have to go with The Rock at Survivor Series. Because
Still got it.
the Rock is one of those things where it's ever since WrestleMania, you're like, hype machine. Okay, whatever. He's going to keep talking this up. He's going to keep doing his little via satellite vignettes. He's going to... whatever. And then they booked him for a match, which, again, getting tickets to Mania, you're kind of pissed, like, what the hell? Oh, well, I guess he has some ring rust. Let's see what he can do. Because now, if you look at him, the man is jacked, because he has a stunt guy that does all his work. All he does is lift.
And no wellness policy.
So, exactly. Exactly.
I'm calling you out on
You
it.
compare Rock to early 2000s, he's a little bit slimmer, a little bit like he's running
No
around,
hair.
he's more athletic. And then you look at Rock now, he's just like hulking mass. So
He went from Rock to Boulder.
I figure. So Survivor Series comes along. He's going to be in the
Apologize
match,
for
and I'm like, all right, he's going to wrestle like what, 3 minutes. He's going to do a couple moves, do a rock bottom, and leave. He starts the match. All right, cool, whatever. And then he starts the match, and really doesn't leave the match. And the whole time, I'm like, holy shit. And I've never been a Rock fan. I've always liked Stone Cold more. I never liked The Rock's attitude. I didn't like how he was winning all the time. I was never a big Rock fan. But seeing him come in there and just clear house for 10 minutes, without missing a beat, like he just wrestled a match on Raw the following week, it blew me away. So I did not expect that much out of The Rock. And I'm more excited now for the Cena match, because now I know he's going to carry Cena the whole match.
Oh yeah, Cena's got to get his ass in
I
gear.
really thought Mania this year was going to be like Goldberg-Brock, where it was just them staring at each other for 15 minutes and doing a couple grapples. But The Rock still has it, and he's going to try and make it a good, at least entertaining match.
I liked how he interacted with the ref. He would pull, that little tag rope meant nothing to the ref.
The ref would like, get back to your corner. And you just see the back of him. The Rock would always threaten to smack him, and the ref would almost fall over. It was great. So The Rock actually being The Rock and not Dwayne at Survivor Series was my pick.
I have to go with Edge retiring. I didn't see it coming at all.
Very good one.
When they had that little backstage segment at the very beginning of Raw, that episode, and they said that Edge has an announcement to make, I was figuring, all right, maybe he's injured and he's got to relinquish the title, and they'll give it to Del Rio, and then they'll come back and do whatever. Or I figured maybe Edge has some kind of new gimmick he's going to try out or something like that. Not that his neck was so bad that he had to retire immediately on the spot.
That was crazy.
I thought that Edge had at least another
5 years?
maybe a year, because there was a rumor that they were thinking of using Toronto for WrestleMania 29. And I thought, there you go, you have Edge against Christian, retirement match in Toronto at WrestleMania, and he bows out that way, because he would have the whole year that he would be able to take it easy once he drops the title to Del Rio, and they'll give him a little bit of time off, and he'll work out the kinks and stuff, and then he'll do that, retire, maybe go on like commentary or something like that. Not, I'm forced to retire, sorry guys. I didn't see that from
Peace. Try to do something.
One more match. I wish you could do one more match. Damn.
It is a shame, because his last televised match was against Del Rio at Mania, the opening match of Mania.
Yeah.
Again, why it's one
But
of
at
the
least it
worst
was
pay-per-views.
for the title, so.
But it was a squash match.
Yeah.
He took more time destroying Del Rio's card than he did beating Del Rio.
The only benefit is he retired champ.
True.
He retired champ, and he retired without having even more serious injury. Because of course,
A lot of these guys.
even though we're
go to the
fans of
end.
these guys and we want to see them do one more match and stuff, we don't want to see them get hurt.
What?
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you, Edge.
Thank you, Edge.
And to end off the writing awards, we have the best and the worst storyline of the year. Worst, what do you think?
The worst one that I chose was the Rock and John Cena tagging for Survivor Series. It was kind of just like, out of the blue, Cena's like, I'm going to pick The Rock.
And then spits.
And he's like, I know we have our differences, I know we have a match coming up, I'm going to pick The Rock. And The Rock comes out and he makes fun of Cena all the way up to it. So you're expecting some kind of big, elaborate ending to it, and it was just...
Rock, please.
Yeah, Rock left. He gave him the Rock bottom, but like, kind of wanted something like Rock jump off or Cena jump. Was really looking for that Cena heel turn. That's what I was looking for, and it didn't come.
I think
so.
it's bound to happen soon, especially with those shirts that are coming out.
I got one.
You got one? I thought they weren't even made yet.
They are on.
They're on
still
sale. WWEshop.com.
Well, no, the live events.
Live events. Liveevents.com. No, it doesn't work.
Just go to your local stand at your local live event.
Buy tickets.
Buy tickets.
Buy me tickets.
I love it though. It says, "Let's go
I'll give you a
Cena."
shout out.
Cena sucks. And on the back it says, "We can't," or it's the "You can't see me," but it's the "We can't see you."
You know what's funny though? I did read that apparently he still gets royalties from all these shirts.
Oh yeah, his
good
name's
job.
Why you
blown
can't
all
be
over
upset
it.
about it?
So I don't know why you didn't cash
So
on
he's
this
gonna
earlier.
make millions of money.
You're welcome. I hate you.
Worst storyline.
Worst storyline. Everything with Michael Cole and Jim Ross. Not Jerry Lawler. Michael Cole and Jim Ross. Because they've wasted too much of my time with this stupid shit.
You're not on my level.
Michael Cole, you're a damn fool. King beat you like a government mule. Line.
That was the worst. It ends on the worst possible note. But even during matches, them back and forth at each other, I actually have muted Raw some nights because I can't stand it.
It's getting a little ridiculous.
And the fact that I think Michael Cole's trying too hard to be Bobby Heenan, and I think he's pushing it too much.
But not as funny.
Whereas Heenan would say something really quick, and he would just keep going. Cole's like, yeah, I said it, 'cause you're fat. Get it? Yeah.
Fatty.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah,
whole
those
rest of the match,
pictures that they
fat,
put on.
Hugo, the whole match, and it's like, oh my god, Jim Ross came back for this.
I did like the Bobby the Brain Heenan versus Shivani shit in WCW.
Yeah.
Shut up, Shivani! That was the end of the argument.
So Michael Cole, Jim Ross,
If there's anything
if that counts as a storyline.
Yeah, if there's anything that I forgot, and I don't know why I forgot about that, I probably would have went with that if I thought about it ahead of time, but what I have down for my worst storyline of the year is, surprise, surprise, an NXT thing. Yoshitatsu feuds with Tyson Kidd because Tyson Kidd fucked up his action figure.
I think you're the only person that watches NXT.
Oh, I don't watch it anymore. This is
I will
the
say that
reason why
also-
I don't watch this shit anymore.
I-
And I covered this on a website. I own a website, and you don't make...
I didn't watch NXT, so I knew nothing about that feud.
Smart man.
But I followed Yoshitatsu on Twitter because of that. Because it was hilarious. It was the most random thing in the world, and he would take his action figure everywhere and take a picture with it on everything. And it was kind of entertaining. And I think that's why they were trying to integrate that.
Midway through this feud is when I just was like,
Off!
done watching this anymore. That and the fact that they haven't done an elimination in, 33 weeks or something like that. So that's what I gotta say, worst storyline of the year. Best storyline of the year. I'm tired of doing this, I'm not doing that anymore.
The best storyline of the year? I've lost my place on my notes.
So yeah, I should be doing that then.
The best storyline of the year, I believe I picked, CM Punk leaving the company. That promo, everything leading up to that promo, that night, and even like when he appeared
after.
Yeah, the night after, when he appeared at Comic-Con, it was great. I bought back into it, and I really wanted a couple months to follow Punk on the independent circuit, just to get more spice behind it, but then I realized that why would you let a cash cow like that stay off TV so long? But it was a great storyline.
I agree. I'm going to go CM Punk also. I personally, I would have held him off at least another pay-per-view. Like, had him come back and do a run-in at SummerSlam, and then maybe have a, undisputed champ at Night of Champions.
Yeah, completely agree there.
But I have to say, everything he did from that first promo to the fact that Good Humor addressed the WWE fans saying, look, we're not making the ice cream bars anymore, leave us alone,
We want ice cream.
meant that CM Punk had that much of a pull.
Mm-hmm.
And he grabbed everyone in. He made people wrestling fans again. He made new wrestling fans. I go to Hot Topic, I see 2 or 3 CM Punk shirts now on display right next to all their other stuff.
You got a Hot Topic?
For CM Punk shirts.
I'm never going to get a sponsorship from them now, am I?
Nope, but I will. Get more CM Punk shirts.
And ice cream bars.
And ice cream bars. And Vader Zim merchandise.
Now, I'm going to cheat here a little bit.
Viva la raza.
I worded this as the COO conspiracy storyline. What I mean by that is pretty much everything that has to do with the COO conspiracy, the stuff with the John Laurinaitis coming in, Triple H coming in, Vince being fired, CM Punk leaving the company. That all ties together, in my mind, that's a good way to cheat here. So, all of that clearly
conspiracy.
beats out the rest of it. There were some good storylines throughout this year.
That was the big
But
one. That kind
that's-
of encompassed it all.
Yeah, that's the
Even-
golden nugget out of all of it.
Everyone from, the executives to the title holders to the mid-carders were all involved with
Mhm.
this.
The walkout's another part of the COO storyline.
Even to bring like Lawler back to be the guy that kind of says like, "Look, it's ridiculous. I'm getting out of here." That was kind of powerful for him to do it. And the JR being the last one to walk out.
Mm.
So
So,
the following Raw was fantastic.
so that does it for the writing section, and the next part we're going to start going over the performer awards.
Are we gonna
and there's
cut the
a
video
lot
here?
more performer awards than there are writing ones, so that's probably going to be broken up even more than these were. So stay tuned to that.
Stay tuned. Performers coming up.